Okay, here is the trick with trig derivatives. Integrating trig, and remember you'll have the note sheet for that, but you have to think backwards. So when we integrate this, we're going to bring the 5 out. Here, I'll do it over here. Then you have to ask yourself, whose function's derivative? So if you work backwards, which function has a derivative of cosine x? Sine x. And that's what goes right there. And then the plus c because of the indefinite. This one's a little bit trickier. Normally we would factor out the negative sign, but we're not going to. We're going to leave that there. And I'm going to write it as 4, the integration symbol, negative sine of x, because then whose derivative is negative sine of x? Going backwards, it's cosine. So when you integrate, you have negative 4. I'm sorry. You don't have negative 4. You have 4, and then the integration of negative sine is cosine plus c. All right, let's do the next two. Okay. Same thing. You're going to bring out the 5, and then that will be, secant squared x dx. Remember, you have your note sheet. So whose derivative is secant squared? Tangent. So as long as you're doing this each time, and looking at your note sheet, this is what it integrates to. Going backwards, it integrates to this. So just like that, because it didn't, other than the negative sign, but the negative sign was part of the integration piece, we didn't have to pull out a constant. Okay, and then finally the last two examples. So if you bring the 4 out, then whose derivative is secant x tangent x, or secant theta tangent theta? It's secant. So when you differentiate, it's 4 secant x plus c, and then finally that negative sign stays, so it's the 5 that would come out. And whose derivative is negative cosecant theta cotangent theta? Cosecant. I'm sure by the process of elimination you had that already figured out anyway if you looked at your note sheet. All right, so it can get complex and confusing, and then when we get into using the u substitution, it'll get more difficult, but for the easy ones you'll have the note sheet to help you work backwards. All right, that's it.